and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look for.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Let's listen in on the call. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
You don't see that very often on running plays from those guys, because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. They'll look to throw again. Got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Second and 10. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Now they try the right side here. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 56 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Now a handoff as they run left side. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And now here's a carry heading left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams, because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot, if that's what they want to do.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, they'll try to run it. A little juke, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Dancing to his left. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Back now in Arlington. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, able to avoid him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown, Dolphins. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Now the try here for the extra point. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. That time a 9-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 78 yards rushing now for the ball game on 24 carries.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's got his big tight end here. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second and 1. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Flushed out right. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Now that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Big third down, a field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. He'll look to throw. And Walker with it over the middle.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Second down and 7.
They'll look to throw. Finding Walker, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. They stay on the ground. Here's Bolden again. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Now a give right side. Bolden, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Bolden.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give right side. Bolden working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Bolden. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. This is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it. This is Bolden. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And now 4th down. What do you do?
And after being stuffed on that